everyone, thanks for joining me. So in this episode, I promised one of my viewers a pencil drawing of something hot rod related. I've decided to go with Clay Smith Mr. Horsepower Woodpecker in a radical style that will later be transferred to one of these. But in this video, I'm just gonna do a complete pencil sketch. Clay Smith was a performance and hot rod guru who established his shop in 1931. The name Clay Smith is still synonymous in the hot rod culture today. It's gonna be a lot of fun creating a wild piece of art based on this logo. So if you're down for a good time, get in, sit down, buckle up, and let's draw like crazy. It's gonna be really rough at first, and it'll take a few minutes for it to actually start coming into play. I can kind of see it in my mind, and I want it to fill up this area. So I'm smoking that big old cigar. I'll be using a little bit of time lapse in this video too as we go, and then I'll slow it back down to give the important stuff like shading and what I use and that sort of thing. Speaking of that, I'm using an I'm using an F lead. That's kind of, it's a little harder than the normal standard HB lead. I really like it. It's generally what I use on most of my stuff. The basic layout is already kind of starting to take shape. You're probably wondering what the heck is going on. This is kind of what the end product is going to be. Of course, I'm drawing him on the other side, but he's kind of got that beak that comes down and then goes up, and it comes down, kind of comes down like this and then back up. Don't be afraid to start your drawings messy. Keep a light hand. The thing about starting a drawing with a heavy hand is that the lines are really hard to erase after that. And sometimes you even, and I've been guilty of this myself, sometimes you even have to completely go in and trace over, as you guys have seen in a couple of my videos, and start the whole thing clean again, which we may end up doing that on this, but I don't think so. I think we'll be able to erase this one out and get it. This thing is going to be radically different, but still portraying the same character. So you get the general idea. At this point, this is where I start erasing out all the ugly. I just use the corner of the eraser, draw as lightly as you can to get the point across to yourself, but heavy enough that you don't get confused. I mean, I get confused sometimes. I don't put the lines in, and then I'll start drawing. I'm like, what did I mean by that? This thing could be considered done at this point. For those of you who know my work, now the fun begins. Okay, so I've added a lot of detail to this thing, and I kind of like the way it's looking. Pretty cool. Put an engine on him because I promised it would be more crazy. Some fire. Gotta add fire to your hot rod. This thing, it's called the kneaded eraser. And what's cool about these, I don't use it a lot. It works best on lighter marks. You can get in some super small spots and clean it up. And I'll show you how to use it for highlighting here in a little bit. I use these index cards. Place that there and you hold it with the other hand. It keeps it from smudging. You can move your hand around, and then when you remove it, it's still, the drawing is still there. I'm gonna show you guys some chrome detail right quick that I use on a lot of my drawings. I put little highlights in. Chrome always has black spots. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, is there any way I could get a like and subscribe? It really helps my channel. Thank you very much. Okay, so when I start doing this detail work and I need a darker pencil, I'll go with an 8B, 4B, 6B. Really, anything with a number and a B is gonna be a darker pencil. It's gonna be a softer lead. I'm using an 8B here, and it's really dark. Works really good though. Anywhere there's chrome in the drawing, it gets this treatment. Okay, another quick technique. They're just little pieces of paper. They're like French curves, or I'm going to show you a kind of a pencil technique for airbrushing that is really cool. So you can see this curve here. You want to match this curve. You can use your finger, but that gets kind of messy. What works actually better are these blenders. Depending on how much pressure you put on them, depends on how dark the blend becomes. So then when you remove that, see, it looks kind of like an airbrush. The bottom of chrome is generally a little darker because it represents the ground. So I'll be doing an upcoming video just on rendering chrome. These little details are what makes the chrome look really cool. And I've always been just a freak for good detail on my work, and you'll develop your own style. Some people don't like to be this detailed on stuff, and that's fine too. Everybody's got their own thing. Okay, here it is, all sublimated onto the rocket. Oops. Be watching in an upcoming episode. I'm going to do this thing in full color. We're going to do metal flake red with a bright yellow backing and some hot pinstriping. You won't want to miss it. Catch you in the next episode. Thanks again, and share with a friend. Robb Rocket, over and out.